inmate masturbated in front of me. I was feeding them through the feeding slot. Once you open their slot to put their tray, they would like put their penis in the slot. I screamed and
What's up, YouTube? You're not tuning in Star General TV, aka Mr. Vok himself. We in the building, you feel me? Yes, sir. Let's get it. Alright, bet. Today we're gonna be redoing a reaction video to an informant from Rikers Island, you know. Shout out to Vice. Yeah, feel me? Anyways, let's get straight into this video. You feel me? I want to hear this.
I was a correction officer at Rikers Island for 2 years. Rikers Island is an island with 9 jails that house inmates awaiting trial. There's been multiple occasions when I've been touring and an inmate will pull his penis out, will masturbate. They would set fires in their cell. You can be walking.
Oh, nah, that's wild. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. That is wild. No way. Nah, that's OD, bro. Yo, the girls gotta be facing a lot of things when they. Anyway, let's continue. That's crazy.
Doing your tour, and all of a sudden urine or feces is thrown at you. The inmates are in there for murder, rape, domestic violence, burglary, robbery. It's just an island filled with gangs that are constantly trying to kill each other. Almost all of them had weapons, knives, or sharp objects. Officers would be assaulted daily. It can range from a broken nose to a broken eye socket, broken bones, broken ribs. There's no limit.
Yo, shout out to all. Yo, to all the workers for the in the jail. Yo, shout out to y'all, cause that sounds OD. That's a difficult job. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't want. But let's get into
To what these inmates would do to you. We are at a time where the inmates are running the prison. There is definitely officers accepting bribes. I was hired to provide custody, care, and control of the inmates. The system has definitely failed everyone involved. The inmates, the officers, everyone involved is suffering. 60 people quit in one day. The captain would side with the inmate.
60 people quit in a day? God damn. Wow.
Before they would side with you. They're worried about bad publicity because they're trying to keep certain things under wraps. Drugs is very rampant. There's K2, fentanyl, marijuana. Any drug basically you could think of, they probably have it. The value of any drug in jail is worth much more than it would be worth on the outside, maybe like 5 times more. There is definitely officers accepting bribes. Not only officers, but civilians bring it in as well. The people who are in charge of programs, doctors, nurses. During the pandemic, visits were suspended, so they weren't getting them through visits. Some of them are scared. Some of them do it for the money. On Rikers, the alcohol is called hooch. And what they would do is save their fruits and they would ferment the fruit. They would mix it with hot water and sugar and they would let it sit there. And then they would get drunk. They would become very touchy-feely. Then they would become aggressive. And then they would start fighting each other, start arguing. It would just lead to disaster. I remember the first time that an
Wait, boss. What do you mean touchy-feely, bro?
What do you mean by that?
inmate masturbated in front of me. I was feeding them through the feeding slot. Once you open their slot to put their tray, they would like put their penis in the slot. I screamed, and the other officers on the floor was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "He's masturbating." And they were like, "Oh, he does that to everyone."
Nah, that is wild, bro. Yo, that is wild. Oh nah. Oh nah. That's nah. He's yo nah. Yo, prison is wild. Oh D.
Like it was just normal. I felt violated. I felt disrespected. I felt scared. I remember being scared to do my tours. There was a time in the building that I worked where an inmate got into the A station where a female officer was. He was able to rip her duty belt off, rip her pants off. Thankfully, an officer was able to come and help her. He was being held for rape. I believe his intentions were to rape her. They suggested that we wear Spanx underneath our uniform for just in case. It shouldn't be a just in case. Am I going to go to work today and is my belt going to be ripped off? Some of the inmates are used to the pepper spray, so it does nothing to them. And then there's others that threaten you if you do.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, who like is there any real control in these prisons then? It's like dang. Like it's like it's like the purge over there, you feel me? Like any rules. Yo, that's crazy how Shorty almost got, wow, that's crazy. Imagine working in these type of environments, bruh. Yo, let me know in the comments, like, what would y'all do? Like, if that's something, would y'all let I'm not even gonna say would y'all let that happen. Like, obviously nobody wanna let that happen. Of course, like, duh. So, like, what's wrong with you, bro? Bugging out. But nah, like, what I'm trying to say is like, what would you do in that situation? Would you even know what to do in that situation? That's wild.
You use your spray, I'm gonna cut you. You're in a position like, do I spray and get cut, or what do I do? There's some of your captains are there just to tear you down. If you report something or you get into an incident, they want to know, what did you do wrong? What didn't you not do to prevent it? You're more likely to end up in jail being a correction officer than you would as a civilian on the street. Suicide attempts on Rikers are pretty common. It breaks my heart. They are humans and they do have families that love them and are waiting for them to come home. It's just sad. Typically, there are about 50 inmates to one officer. The job was so draining that I would literally come from work and sleep until my next shift the next morning. Then the pandemic hit, and that's when I actually started getting stuck. That's 16 hours back to back. My coworker called me from the jail. She's like, I'm on 24 hours and they won't let me leave. And they're saying if I walk off the post, I'm going to get suspended. You're on post for 24 hours and then a fight breaks out and they expect you to do everything right on no sleep. You're supposed to still do your duties to the best of your ability. I have seen female officers terminated for having relationships with the inmates. There has been incidents where officers have been impregnated by inmates.
I ain't trying to laugh, but you gotta get away, you gotta get it. That's wild. At least this one, at least that was consensual. You feel me? I don't think, I'm hearing some wild stuff. Yo, my cord all over the place and stuff. Yo, this is some wild stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know what to even say. Like, it's like, dang. Yo, imagine working for 24 hours and expected to have the same energy you had when coming in. That's crazy. And then on top of that, you have to fight, like stop a fight against a person that probably have a good amount of sleep in them, because that's all they have to, like, that's the only thing they could do pretty much. It's like, dang, that's OD. Even if the correction officer like tries to do anything or report anything, they get in trouble. So it's like, wow, what can you do?
Once you start a relationship with an inmate, or once you say yes to them once, you can't say no because you're locked in. You're trapped at that point. I didn't have a coping method. I had chest pain. I've had colleagues died from heart attacks. I remember thinking I'm 21 and I'm gonna have a heart attack. I hit rock bottom. I actually tried to quit like 3 times. They would always convince me to stay in the fight. I remember getting to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Just give me the paper to sign and I'm done. I remember still feeling that chest pain for probably up to 5 months after I quit, until it went away. Right after me, hundreds of people were quitting. If I can talk to an officer that was looking to join corrections, I would tell them, don't do it. It's not worth your quality of life. It's not worth your mental health. And until there is some sort of structure and safety, you shouldn't even consider it.
That is wild. That is wild. Yo, that's crazy. I ain't doing that, y'all. That's wild. You can miss me with that. I ain't doing none of that. I'm gonna stay my brother. You ain't gonna see Star over there. Oh man, that's OD. Anyways, yo, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Would you become a correction officer? And what would you do in some of these situations? You think you could be, hold your own 10-toe down? You that gangster, you think you can handle it? You feel me?